crude, but it will work.
It will work, and we've got our electrician now involved. To be honest, I'm
Trying to know which way it was.
Retired.
So Zach, tell us what's been happening. Now everyone's kind of disappeared because we were going to go away, and then we found out there was something that found us an answer to our questions.
So basically what it is, from what I can see, I don't know if it's something to do with the Arduino or something to do with the actual wiring, but these pins are not making good contact with the the pins coming out of the Arduino. So what I'm doing, it's probably a temporary measure, although I'll probably soon get a more permanent one, is to make a longer pin in just terms of wire, and then just shove it down the pin and then see if that actually works. If not, the other option I can do, which will probably be a better one, this is why I prefer to solder connections, is actually solder permanently on the back or somewhere like that, or find a proper pin and hopefully solve it. But for some reason it keeps tripping. It would actually help if I actually put the power on to trip myself.
No, well, don't trip yourself.
Well, you can trip yourself on the wires if you
Yeah,
want.
you can trip over the wires. So, in between the last vlog and this vlog, Dak's been up here multiple times doing all the wiring of all the cables. So all the cables that you can see going around here, they've all been triggered, including all the signals have been placed in. There's a slight adjustment for recirculation. Sightings, I think it's called, isn't it?
Sighting, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be doing a sighting test anyway, but currently, by what we can tell, the signal's now starting to work happily, which is a lot better than what it was a bit earlier. You were basically crying earlier on, weren't you, at one point?
I wasn't crying, I was crying on the inside because, like, you saw in the previous vlog, which was me showing you how it was all working. It's like, yeah, it's working all brilliantly, and then for some reason the system's like, I don't want to work.
So these are the points that basically work. So as you can see, they're very small, thin connections. Now, these thin connections are brilliant, but at the same time, they are so painful as well, because all it takes is for that to not have a fully strong connection in both ends. So, of course, that end, you've got a connection that goes into there. And if these cables fail at any point, then that's what can cause this short that's been happening.
It's probably what's happened.
Which is what we think has been happening, but what we can see. So what Zach is doing now is basically creating himself some signals, creating himself some new wires that's going to go through, and then once we know this is working, he can then take it home and solder those connections to be correct for future as well, so that way this shouldn't happen anymore.
Right,
what is your aspect showing?
It's a yellow signal.
Yellow signal, perfect. Okay, proceed. As you can see right here, we have a red aspect at the moment on this signal, but as soon as Kyle goes over the previous signal, or the previous treadle, that will then swap to green. We have a green signal, DC2. Now as this train goes over the next level, there we go, we've now got red signal now showing. What that means is, because there's nothing inside this circuit here, that is basically saying there's nothing here, no point showing a green aspect, so it's waiting for the cue from the entrance, which will show that signal being a red instead of an amber. So this will always show red, unless of course there's nothing in front of it. Carl's now coming round on the next one.
Is actually showing an amber signal. Proceed on.
Proceed. So what that means, currently that treadle there is a little bit faulty, so we need to make sure that's working nicely. Could be that it's just not been pressing deep enough, which will cause the signals not to go on. Currently, we're looking like everything's running perfectly. Well, I forgot my vlog camera at home, so my phone's just going to have to do. But they moan because I never say I'm about to press record. I just happen to press it because my brain thinks maybe I should get some segments before anything happens. But oh dear.
and the warehouse doesn't take with all the different that. Sorry.
Oh, very
I
Well, it turns out I did actually have my camera on me while out for that dog walk. The only problem is that it was at the very bottom of my bag, so the previous clip was from my phone. I've done that twice in a row, so whether I remember it for tonight when I'm editing off yesterday's vlog, which I should do because I've just done it, should remind me. Anyway, we're currently just preparing ourselves some pizza to have. My one's now in the oven, Carl's is having his one, and we're just going to take this evening nice and steady because Carl has got a long journey back home from yesterday. I did get a message in the comments, so we've had 4 comments that's come through over the past couple of days, so I thought I'd answer these comments. What I might do at some point is start doing like a Q&A if we start getting some comments coming through. So let me bring up those comments that were on there. So these were on the vlog that was preparing for our new crossing signals, which is the ones we're working on today. Simon Per Mer2IY says, good video, Zach. Good video, Zach working hard on signal projects. Be nice to have a tunnel. Answer for that is yes, we are planning to have a tunnel, but it's a long term in the distance. Currently all the circuits open and everything else. The problem with tunnels is that we've got to be careful of headroom when it comes to drivers and engines and everything else, because we usually sit on top of wherever people are sitting, so we've got to make sure everything's all health and safety wise. Kath Hobson, Domino, woohoos, love the thumbnail, haha, for the Google Pixel 7 Pro in 2025. That was Day in the Life 16. Thank you very much, really enjoy. I try my best with making thumbnails interesting every single time by doing something either in the vlog or doing something else. And Kath Hobson also said on We Have a Guest Day in the Life 15, who is Carl to you? Do you have any plans while he stays? Where is he from? So here's one of my best mates. He's been my best mate for quite some time. I met him through IRC, through #Chris on a Geek Shed IRC channel, which Chris Perillo is one of my best persons who I've been following on the internet for ages. So quite simply for me, he's been my best friend since then. We learned each other from there. We also have a friend around, which is Squirrel, aka Nutty, aka Dan, who lives in Sleaford, who is not too far from me. So we go to him every now and again and have a bit of a conversation and chat, and also to see his brand new pups. He's the one with the 6 new puppies. And do I have any plans while he stays? Well, you've seen the plans while we stay. Basically dog walking, just enjoying ourselves and going to the railway as often as we can, when we possibly can. Tomorrow we're going off to, I believe, the Carrington Steam Rally before he heads home. And as well as that, we have one more comment, and I believe this was from Kath Hobson, from preparing for a new crossing signals Day in the Life 17. This vid really makes me want to visit the railway, but I'm far away in Essex. Also garden party and very fashionably early, over 24 hours. Yeah, it was a bit 24 hours early. I used to be from Essex, I used to be from Southend. And if you are down in Essex and you want to go visit a miniature railway, there is also Canvey Island Miniature Railway. I believe they run on Sundays. So you can go down there. I think the website for them is cramec.org. So you can go down there but if you ever come up to Lincolnshire, feel free to come there. Do me a favour, message me, let me know. We run every single end of the month on a Saturday. So if you fancy coming out for one of those, just message me and let me know. Then I will be sure to introduce myself when I'm there. But of course, I'll be doing what I can do with the responsible officer. Right, my pizza's nearly coming to its end of cooking. I've got to add a bit more cheese onto it now, and then I'm going to finish off for tonight and have a bit more of a relaxing evening. But those are just going over all the questions that's been coming through. Hopefully that has answered some of your comments rather than me replying through. I will try and do that often. If you guys think this might be a good idea, just let me know down in the comments down below. So if you guys are watching, it's currently now coming up to midnight, and I am now basically ending off for today. I've got to, so tomorrow Cole goes back home, But what I have been doing this evening is working on like an IT support portal or a dashboard type interface, and just trying to get some new stuff going, because the things that's really annoying is there's so many bills I have to pay, and if I was to hire anyone on, I want those costs to be as low as possible. So the best thing is to move over to my own software, my own specifically design software, and that's what I'm starting to do now that the business has slowly slowed down a little bit, kind of, to a point, but that allowed me to tidy in those options and fix that. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to head off to bed, and I will see you guys in the morning. If you guys have enjoyed it, like, comment and subscribe. Till then, bye bye.